We promised median home price madness you're not going to want to miss in our last video. Plus, we're going to explain why we expect to see a change in Southern California median home prices. And make sure you stick around to the middle where we might make some heads explode when we calculate the mortgage payments for a median home price purchase today versus last year. And of course, some Altos Research Report magic where we cover inventory and what's different this year than years past. Hey there, Christian Walsh, Forever Agent with Wire Associates. We have been helping buyers and sellers make the best data-driven decisions during these crazy days. So if you're ready to dive into the median home prices, plus inventory levels for LA, Orange County, Riverside, San Diego, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties, hit that like button. And let's get started. Without further ado, let's dive into the median home price. And as we explained, we're waiting a little bit further into the month. We're not going to be releasing this data at the second or third of the month. We wanted to season a little bit because we did notice there were slight changes, actually some big changes in fact, in some of the data months before. And it's very important right now. The median home price, a lot of folks are looking at because we're seeing changes in the median home price, but we're going to run through this and explain. First off, let's just go ahead and talk about what we're seeing in the data right now, and that is month over month for Orange County and LA. We see an increase in the median home price, and that's not to be a big surprise. That's typically what happens this time of year. Is we see an increase in the median home price as things start to warm up in this spring buying season. Riverside, month over month, we see a drop of $2,000, and we're going to keep tracking that to see what that's related to. I know inventory is tight, and that could be part of what's going on, but we're going to see what trend it continues there, if any. Now, the biggest news here is the year-over-year change. So we can see that the Orange County median home price, and this is for single-family condos and townhomes, that is down 4.9%. LA is down 5.7%. Riverside is down 5.4%. So we've got 5 to 6% drops in the median home price year over year. So that's a big deal on some level. Now, obviously, nobody likes to have their home lose value. That is something that people don't like to see. But it's important to understand that these buyers aren't necessarily upside down from a loan standpoint. These buyers who bought 1 year ago most likely still have equity if they put down more than 5 to 6%. So if they put 10% down, they still have equity in their home because of their down payment. Now, the FHA buyers, if they only put 3.5% down, or VA buyers who put nothing down, they would be upside down right now about 5 to 6% in the value of their home. But stick around because we're going to show you where their payments are compared to 1 year ago for a median home price. There's some relevance there, and I want your opinion on relevance. One more important point to share, and it's particularly relevant for Orange County and Los Angeles as well. And we can see that there was a dramatic spike in the median home price. One of the biggest spikes we had seen that quickly going back. And what ended up happening is the median home price turned much sooner than it normally does. Typically around June or July, the median home price will peak and then start to go down through the end of the year. That happens every year, by the way. So those folks who are worried about losing value should not buy in June or July. You should buy around the holidays because that's when the median home price is lowest. So we see that it turned quickly. It dropped in April for Orange County. LA flatlined and then dropped. In April, for Orange County in particular, we're going to see it is going to be particularly nasty year over year. It's probably going to be, maybe we'll see a 6 to 7% drop year over year in April for Orange County. But that's going to change once we get past this peak. That's going to start to drop. Now, will we get to the point where year over year we're positive? I actually believe that's entirely possible. As inventory has stayed low and demand has stayed strong, if interest rates continue to drop like they have been, we see buyers out there buying, we could see where we get to a point where year over year we are at a positive change for median home price. Let me know when you think we'll see a change. Will it be in 2023 or will it be in 2025? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on to the other 3 counties we cover for Southern California. So for all 3 of these counties, month over month, we see an increase in the median home price. So that's important to see. That number has gone up month over month. Now, year over year, San Bernardino is flat. It's the exact same number year over year. Ventura is down 3.5%. San Diego is down 2.4%. So if you had an FHA loan in Ventura County and you put down 3.5%, right now you're right at that break-even point for value and equity in your home. San Diego, you're still up, and San Bernardino, you are flat. These numbers are stronger than the other 3 counties, and Ventura has improved because they were at 7% in previous median home price tracking that we did. So Ventura County is at a smaller negative number, which means things are improving. So again, I want your predictions. When do you think we'll see these numbers go positive? Because we're already at 0 for San Bernardino. It could happen very soon for these counties here. If you like our data, you're going to love talking to us. If you're thinking of buying or selling, we have a link below so you can do that. And don't forget, we cover all of Southern California. We have a regional sales and marketing center in Newport Beach and Beverly Hills. It's time for a thought experiment that might make some heads explode out of anger. I hope it's not your head. We are going to compare the monthly payments for the median home buyer for March of 2023 versus March of 2022. We're going to use Orange County as an example. So Orange County values are down about 5% year over year. But what is the payment difference? And is it even relevant? Does it matter at all? I want your opinion on whether it matters at all. So let's dive in and work on some numbers so that we can run through this thought experiment. So we're looking at the interest rate for 2023 in March. Now in March, it started out at 6.73 and got down to about 6.3 by the end of the month. So it dropped in March of 2023. Now the thing to bear in mind is that when you're closing in March, you lock your rate usually much earlier. So the people who locked actually would have probably wanted to float down their rate as well. So we're just going to average this out to 6.5. Some may have locked in higher than that. And a few, if they locked it and closed right at the end of the month, maybe we're a little bit lower. So let's assume that the rate for the median home price for 2023 in March was about 6.5%. Let us know what you got in the comments below if you bought then. Now let's go back a year. We'll jump in our time machine and we're going to look at March of 2022, a year ago. So you can see here that in the beginning of the month, it was under 4 and it went up relatively quickly. Now, in an environment like this where we saw rates were increasing, those who were buying at the beginning of the month would have locked. They would have locked in these lower rates. By the end of the month, it was about 4.5-ish. So we're just going to average it out to 4.5. Probably 4.25 would be more fair. But let's just say if you bought in March of 2022, your interest rate is 4.5. Again, give me your interest rates if you bought then. So we've got our interest rate. We've got the median home price. Let's see where the payments are. Follow me. Let's calculate some payments. One of my favorite tools is the Zillow Mortgage Calculator. It's very flexible and you can go with the advanced functionality and put in more accurate numbers. So we are going to use 1% for property tax. It's usually a little bit more, but we'll use that. The home insurance is fine. We're going to include PMI because we're going with 10% down. Why? You know what? Why not? Let's just go 10% down. Not everybody has 20%. So this is the median home price in March of 2022, $1,050,000 in Orange County. That interest rate, like we said, we're going to use 4.5%. So the monthly payment using all these numbers is $6,233 if you would have purchased in March of 2022. And here we are if you bought that median priced home in March of 2023. So you've saved on the home price. It's now down to $999,000 in Orange County. Your down payment, you saved about $5,100. That stays in your bank account. You can invest that and get some sort of return off that. And you can see your property taxes down. So you save about $510 annually in property taxes as well. So there's some savings there. But your payment is $7,062. You're over $800 more per month for that same exact home. And that adds up to $9,600, almost $10,000. Subtract the savings for property taxes, you're still over $9,000 more annually that you're paying for the same house. Even if you factor in the savings on property taxes, again, you still have $5,100 in the bank. You can do something with that. Does that matter? So let me know in the comments below if you think this is at all relevant to the discussion, and whether you think that the payment matters or the price matters or some combination of both. I want to hear your thoughts on this because I know some people will have very strong opinions. And of course, it wouldn't be a market update without a little bit of Altos Research Report magic. So let's take a quick look at the county level. Of course, the market action index is still up. 'Tis the season. You'll see that in all the counties. We see that this time of year is an inflection point for inventory. We start to see more inventory come as sellers are getting their homes on the market. And you can see going all the way back to 2018 that is what happens going back. The inventory starts to tick up. We see it in every year in Orange County, a little flat in 2021, but you see that increase. And this big increase here was as interest rates are going up, and then things flattened out. We can see inventory is down lower than any other point in time other than last year, and it looks like it's leveling off, but it doesn't look like it's going to turn at this point in time. We're not seeing an increase like we saw some years past that started to go up. So that is something we need to continue to watch. As inventory stays at these low levels, prices are going to be buoyed because there's enough demand at these low levels for the inventory. Moving into LA, looking at the inventory and another market where this time of year things tend to turn, and we're not seeing that here. We're seeing it go down. Now, I will say the eviction moratorium is over, and it's going to be easier for landlords to list their properties. In fact, I'm talking to quite a few landlords who own multiple properties who are ready to get theirs on the market. So I do expect to see inventory to tick up in Los Angeles County. Riverside. Now, Riverside seems to have a slightly different trend. It did go up in 2018, this inflection point time of year, but it dropped in 2019, plummeted in 2020. That's when we got into COVID and homes are being snapped up at that point in time. It went up in 2021, 2022. So we'll have to see what happens. Slightly different trend here, but it does look like more often than not, it should be going up this time of year as far as the level of inventory. San Bernardino, we have another market where we see that big drop in 2020, but normally it goes up. And same thing 2019, 2021, 2022, but it doesn't look like it's going to go up. It looks like it has just dropped. You can see where these other markets, it had already dropped. It was already at its bottom and started to turn by this time of year. We don't have a bottom for inventory in San Bernardino, and maybe that helps explain why values are still up at the same level they were last year. There's enough demand at these low inventory levels. Ventura market action index is up. Same thing for inventory. We may be flattening out here and it may turn, but it was lower in years past before this time of year. So we do not have a bottom yet for inventory, theoretically, in Ventura this time of year. And San Diego continues to be a hot seller's market. It looked like it was getting a little bit shaky there about a month ago, but things have changed. And another one where inventory continues to go up this time of year, and maybe we flattened out, but it is hard to tell whether it's going to start to go up. Maybe it'll start to go up. We didn't get that dip like we had years past and then the increase. So important to look at that. Inventory remains tight, keeping values up. Let me know what you're seeing out there. You're missing out if you don't subscribe for the Altos Research Reports for your city or your zip code. We have a link below so you can do that, and it gives you our free weekly email newsletter so you won't miss a single market update. And speaking of market updates, you're not going to want to miss this one. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, Forever Agent with Wire Associates and Berkshire Hathaway, and we want to hear from you.